Hello, it's Tuesday afternoon. It's nearly 6:30 or 7. I have had an amazing last couple of days, and I've just had to spend the last hour reflecting on how to move forward. So what I've chosen to do, I had the challenge of when my visitors just left at 5:30. I had some visitors here for a couple of days, which was really lovely, or for one day, one night and one day. Yeah, 2 days. And I had a feeling when they left that I'd have a bit of a slump. I was hoping it wouldn't happen, but it did. It hit me hard having my house empty and post-Christmas, post-Boxing Day celebrations. I'll go into that in a second. I'll go out into the deck. It's a bit cold inside. But what I've just done, I'll show you. I've just watched a video on attachment theory. I just lost it. So you got, what is your attachment style? You probably can't see it. What is your attachment style? And I've just watched a couple of videos on that and then I've been writing in my book here about the attachment styles, my little journal, cute little journal. So now the reason why I decided to do that, and the reason why I just said, it's a bit cold inside, is because I put the evaporative aircon on, and it's directly, I'll show you, it's directly above the duct. The duct is actually directly above this this couch, which is great when it's smack bang in the middle of the day. I'm just trying to cool the whole house down because I was gone for a little while. So I'll just turn it around so you can see where I was sitting. So I was just sitting, hang on. Hang on, sorry. That was weird. Okay, so yeah, so I was just sitting there. It's very comfortable, and that's the YouTube-y. It's very well set up. I've just eaten some chocolate. So I'm just going to go to the deck because I'm cooling the house down, but I didn't want to be under that anymore. It was hitting on top of my head. So what actually happened was 24th of December, I drove down to the city got there about 12 midnight, down to the city to dance for a couple of hours at a dance party because my son put some money in my account. 25th, I stayed at a friend's house early morning of Christmas Day, and then left her place about 8:30 in the morning, drove up to Northern, went to church service, got there a little bit late but still got some of it, then went to a communal Christmas luncheon. This time it was at 2J, and it was just a community one. It was big, there was lots of people there, it was yummy food. Brand of mine booked you had to pre-book a spot and pay $12.50. Amazing, good day. It wasn't Christian though, whereas the year before I went to Bridgeley luncheon. I preferred that because it was it was focusing on Jesus and what the day was about. But still, it was on this December the 25th. The lunch was lovely, and there was a group of us there, and there was some good conversations, and that was lovely. And I left that, and I drove home, and I was hoping that I'd be okay. And I spent the rest of Christmas Day at home alone with my 2 dogs and my cat, and just, rested. Actually, I had a really big rest, and I did a live, and I felt a sort of a sense of peace that night. I felt it was a quite interesting, deep sense of peace that I was feeling, which was did some reflecting on my relationships and various things like that, and did a live on that, and I found that I was okay about that, and I went to bed and it was all okay. And I knew that the following day I had a gathering at mine because about a month ago I said to some friends I'd have a gathering here. I wanted to do Christmas at mine, and what's the best day? And a lot of them said, the 26th would be good. So I was going to organise a bit of a function on the 26th. That's when my husband was still here. And I thought, oh, this will be fun. You know, Jody's, you know, he would have had fun with his music, and it just would have been, and I would have invited a lot of people. I would have set up, you know, really just would have decked out the house and, you know, no effort with the hostessing and all that sort of stuff. And because I did a DIY wedding, so I've got all the catering stuff. So basically what happened was, obviously with my husband choosing to leave when it was that Thursday, I think it's nearly 3 weeks ago. I'm losing track of time at the moment, but I think it's been 3 weeks since he left. And then what actually happened was I had no idea what Christmas was going to look like, or what the 26th. I didn't really want to do the 26th anymore, but I had this friend and some other friends who really encouraged me to still do it. And they wanted me to do it because they wanted me to have memories. Sorry, I've got the phone thing again. They wanted me to have good memories in my house and on the day, and they wanted people to be around me, and yeah, it was interesting. And I'm going to actually give you guys a different view. So basically what happened was I didn't really want to have my gathering on the 26th, and I actually felt really stressed about it. Anyway, so I was cruising around. A friend of mine lent me some money to do the shopping so I could buy some food for the house. I did that shopping, then I came home and I had the most horrendous panic attack. I actually could not breathe. I actually literally could not breathe. I was so scared. And then somehow or rather, in that pure panic attack, I sent a message to my friend who was driving up from, that's right, sorry, the 26th. I woke up with major panic attacks and just this sense of, I woke up early, and I was on and off trying to get up and get into action. I woke up about 5:30 and I was trying to get into action and I couldn't. And then a friend of mine rang me, she texted me, and then I rang her back. And then what happened was I then drove straight to her house, and we took our dogs for a walk, and then we did some Woo Teo. There was 3 of us, we did some body work. And that was really nice. And we did a big prayer for the day. And then I drove home, went to do my shopping. After my shopping, I had a major, horrendous panic attack. It was literally like, I couldn't get any air in. I thought, oh my God. So I've got to get some air in or I'm going to die. And in that process of not being able to breathe, I actually was able to somehow send a text to my friend who was coming up from Perth in her caravan with her partner and her son to say, well, I'm having the biggest panic attack. I'm really freaking out about putting this day on. It feels too big for me. I just don't feel like I can get the house ready enough for guests in time. And she sent me a text message going, just relax. We're just there for you. And I had a couple of friends saying, we're just there for you. So I thought I'm going to really relax into this. And when I went down to do my shopping, I bumped into my neighbour who was coming over, and she told me what she was bringing. So I thought, okay, and my other friend coming up from Perth told me what they were bringing. So I thought, well, really, food is pretty much sorted. So all I've really got to do is get the yard a bit more organised. And so what I did was because my friend was coming up in a caravan, and so she says to the ute, she had a big ute, her four-wheel drive and her caravan were there. It was just huge. Huge. It took up this whole backyard almost, like they got it in through the back gate, which was amazing. But I tidied up all this area, made it a bit nice for her. And what I did was make this area really nice. She didn't end up using this area, so she'd have cigarettes there. Now I tidied up in this area here. This is where we did the, her partner brought up the portable barbecue and he cooked up, and there's a little bit of leftover stuff. So we had all the food there, and most of the people were sitting on this couch using that table, chairs there. I had a podcast there with music, and it was just really good. It was just simple, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful 26th of December gathering, and everyone was having a really great time, and people getting to meet each other, and they were helping me get good memories in my house. And then today, my friend Desi and her partner and her son were here up until I only just left. And we went to the river with the dogs because they brought 2 dogs. And then we went to Spencer Brook Tavern, and then they have just driven back to Perth. And then I come back to my house. I'm like, okay, so Christmas and the 26th is now done. Okay, so I survived what could have been a very painful milestone, like this Christmas without my beautiful husband by my side. I survived it and actually enjoyed it. Like, my friends really stepped up to help me enjoy it, and then life is normal now. It's just like, except for New Year's Eve. But New Year's Eve is sort of a self thing. You do what you want to do for yourself, whereas Christmas and all that is more of like, your family and who you're around. And it can be a time of where sometimes we can think we don't have enough love or connection. And so it is a time of, it's an interesting day. If you're not surrounded by loved ones, you can feel like you don't have community. So I was definitely surrounded by loved ones, and I definitely had a beautiful community, and people really went out of their way to make sure I had a good Christmas. And everyone else had a good Christmas, and everyone said it's just beautiful. They loved it. Okay, so the success there. So now we're in the process of moving to the next stage, which is the new year. And I've been looking at this attachment style. I just opened the page up. So when I was reading, because I'm in a situation now where since my husband left a few weeks ago, I have sent him 4 text messages. I've tried to ring a couple of times, more than twice. I think I've tried to ring 3 times. I've sent 4 messages. I received 1 message back, and that was to say he wanted to organise. This was for last week. He had a doctor's appointment in Northam, and he wanted to organise to see the animals, and that was last week, but he never arranged to see the animals. So my text messages were very practical about we've got to start paying the builder back. One of them was about all the retic problems and how I really need help with getting the retics. It's just beyond and above me. We've got major water issues happening with the retic. Like, it's too big for me. The builder, my friend doesn't want to come back to do too much more work until we start paying him money. Oh, look, this is little Zena. Look. Oh, will I get her in time? Oh, there she is. Oh, my beautiful one. She was in the bed sleeping. She was in the inside sleeping. But then she knew I was outside, and so she has to come out, don't you? She has to come out to be near me, which is quite interesting. They always want to be so close. Where I'm sitting, though, she can't really sit on my lap. I might try to pick her up. Hang on. I'll just hang on a second, everyone. Oh, come here. Oh, my little Zena. Ouch. She's actually getting quite big. My beautiful Zena. So, sorry about that, everyone. Pretty soon, oh God, pretty soon she's going to be way too big to sit on my lap. I'll show you something. I'll show you how big her paws are. They're huge. Look at her paws compared to my hand. Can you see? I'll do it the other way around. Hang on. Cool issue. See? I was trying to show you how big her paws were. Oh, it's not letting me. Sorry. Anyway, I'm going to put it down. She's squiggly. Oh, God. Sorry about this. So this is what I was trying to show you. How big her paws are. They're huge. She's only 40 months old. She's got such big paws. She's going to be a big dog. So I've got to take advantage of being able to fit her on my lap. Yeah, we only had her for about a week before Anthony left, hey? So he's missing out on all of this. He's missing out on her. She was supposed to be our fur baby daughter. I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't understand how he doesn't want to see the animals. I don't get it. I don't get how someone can pull away enough that they don't even want to catch up with cute little animals. I organised 2 situations where he could meet up with them and see them without having to see me. But he didn't even organise that. So that's when I started to think, wow, his heart's closed down. His heart's really closed down if he can't even, or doesn't even want to see the animals. He's not even committed to actually even seeing the animals. So I was reading about these attachment styles, okay, which is Sight to Go site from Patreon. And there's a lot about attachment styles I need to learn. But basically there's the secure one, which I fit a lot of it. And I was like, if I fit so much of it, why can't I make my relationship with my husband work? Why do I keep slipping into these dysfunctional habits, you know? But, it's the comfortable and expressing oneself, honest, open, on an equal level, and are prepared to grow and merge on an equal level, and happy for the other one to have freedom. I've always been happy for Anthony to do whatever he wants to do, and vice versa. We don't restrict each other. And then higher emotional intellect, which I have, and both self-aware and highly resilient, which I am. So I just thought, wow, I would have thought that I would have been able to create good honest communication on a more regular level. And then the other one that suits me is anxious preoccupied, which is romanticising love, and then attracted to either saving others or having someone save me, which is definitely real, like damsel in distress. Sorry, Xena. Okay, get down. Sorry, everyone. Damsel in distress, and knight in shining armour, come and save me. Like, I've definitely had a bit of a fantasy about a knight in shining armour saving me. So definitely anxious, preoccupied, and then it started saying stuff that didn't. The prone to over-analysing and mood swings, which and growing up with no boundaries or limitations, so that definitely fits me. But then it's got demanding, obsessive, and clingy, which I don't believe I am. And then it's got insecure, low self-esteem, or insecure and low self-esteem due to growing up with no boundaries. And I reckon on some very deep level, I'm definitely quite insecure without realising it. But mistaking turbulence for passion, I'm sort of wondering on some subconscious level if maybe there's something I do. I went swimming in the river today, and my hair is disgusting, so apologise. Dismissive avoidant is the other attachment style, which I don't think is Anthony. I think Anthony's fearful avoidant, but dismissive avoidant is emotionally distant, and they're seen as independent. They're avoiding true intimacy, and they seek to be alone, to shut out emotions, and they don't have very close relationships. I don't really think that's him. Fearful avoidant, though, is fearful of being too close or too distant. They're very unpredictable. They're overwhelmed by their own emotions. When people get too close, they hurt them. They fear being abandoned. They've got inner conflict of wanting intimacy but resisting intimacy. And they experience highs and lows. And this is definitely what I believe Anthony is. He's so available at times, and that's when the magic is so there, and you just get so... It just feels so beautiful and everything's working so well. And then there's a shutdown, then there's a withdrawal. And him being avoidant and me being anxious, him withdrawing, that means an anxious person just clamours for him to open up again and reach out again. And then the more I clamour for him to open up and not closed down, the more overwhelmed it gets and shuts down. But then when that dynamic's not there, then it's this secure, well, for me it's secure for sure. I think he was building up to secure. But anyways, my thing about here was challenges, choices, and commitment. And really what happened today was when I came back we went to the river, Desi, Eddie, their son, their 2 dogs, me and my 2 dogs, we went to the river, the Avon River Burloin Pool, and I had to swim, the dogs hadn't run around, it was fun. And then we went to Spencer Brook Tavern, and we were there for about an hour. It's so beautiful there. And then hang on a second, Zena's just trying to get into the garden. Watch this. I've got fences up and everything. Oh, no. She was trying to get in. Oh, you know what's happening, guys? I can't turn the... You know how I used to be able to turn around? You could see what I could see. For some reason, it's blocking me now. I don't know why. Anyways, yeah, I had a feeling... It's very beautiful here at the moment. See, this is one of the most beautiful parts of the day in this... Yeah, I can't turn it around. It's one of the most beautiful parts of the day. I don't know if you can see it, but the sky's really... it's just orange. Like everything's got an orange glow. So the video footage isn't actually doing it justice, but it's actually a really magical time. It's not hot, but it's not cold. It's just beautiful. And I want to get out in the garden. I'm going to get out into the garden. But when I first came back, and I was coming back to the empty house. The cat's here, of course, but coming back to the empty... Ollie, the cat. Coming back to the empty house. My friends have gone. They camped here last night. When I woke up this morning, I had a lot of trepidation and dread in the morning, but I knew I had friends in the caravan here on site. And now it's just me and the animals. And tomorrow there's nothing planned. I have to talk to my client about whether I'm working Wednesday or Thursday. I have to send her a message to see if I'm working tomorrow, but I've got a feeling I'm possibly working Thursday. I'll just clarify that. And, yeah, just this life goes on, with the outcome of the situations that have been happening, and it's the new year coming, and the Christmas thing is over. That's a milestone over. I move forward. And my commitment was I've got to work through this. I can't cry because I kept feeling like I was just going to burst into tears and collapse and just become... And I thought, no, there's still 2 hours of daylight. My whole life is ahead of me. I've got to keep moving forward, bit by bit, step by step, got to keep moving forward and got to keep making a choice through the challenges and commit. So I quickly went on to the YouTube to look around attachment theories it was something I wanted to do the other day, and then I actually re-watched it and kept taking notes so I could really learn it to try to work out. And she said, relationships take a constant choice, commitment and work. And she says, it's just a chance to grow. Like whenever you look at your attachment styles can change and they all sort of overlap as well. And the more we learn about ourselves, it gives us a chance to grow, you see. And regardless of whether I get a chance to grow with my husband as wife and we can grow together as a couple, regardless of whether that happens, because I can't control what my husband... Sorry about this, everyone. I'm just trying to get the phone comfortable. I'll probably do more lives out in this little table because it's a nice table, but I'll probably prop the phone up on a cup or something so I don't have to hold it. And eventually I'm going to set up my computer inside and everything. But, yeah, just that thing of my life has to continue. I don't know. I don't know what's happening because my husband's been out of contact. So he's completely and utterly been avoidant. I would say he's been avoidant from a place of fear. I'd say he's probably acting from a place of fear because he fears that if he sees me or talks to me, he'll want to come running back and it'll be exactly the same way it was before. Like, I'm sorry, it will not be the same way it was before, because in all honesty, I was quite shocked with how it escalated so quickly last time, but I actually know what the key issues are, and it's all to do, is definitely to do with not being honoured as wife to his siblings. You know, like, I know it shouldn't matter that much, but it's like, man, you step up and honour me as wife to those people, or they got to get out of our life. Like, it's as simple as that. You can't have a relationship with these people that didn't honour the marriage, didn't come to the wedding, very happy to break us up, want us broken up, don't have any iota of respect, acknowledgement, or honour for our matrimony, yet for our wedding, for our marriage. Yet he wants to have some sort of relationship with these people still, even though any relationship he has with them is a relationship that excludes me, and their ongoing disrespect of me as a being, and me as his wife, and him and I as husband and wife, and him not holding them to account. Like, he's angry about what they've done. He talks to me about how angry he is, but he never talks to them. He's disgusted with their behaviour. Like, when his sister, we gave her the invite to wedding, she goes, no hard copy required. He was fucking livid. He was livid at that response. What does this mean? But he never has had that conversation. He's never... And the brother comes to the wedding just to take photos, just to gloat over how depressed or how distressed he looked. Weddings are a pretty serious situation. Other people have seen the photos, have all said that, like, what happened was, we know that John showed Jean the photos because Jean rang up the day after the wedding crying to Anthony that he looks miserable and he can come back. But then what happened was, about a week later, he got a message from his ex-wife going, oh, Jean sent me the photos and you look lovely and you look so all right. And her, because back at this point, yeah, so the photos looked, we haven't seen the photos, and even to this day Anthony never asked his brother for the photos, or even probably he's asked his sister for the photos, and they don't talk about it. They don't actually talk about their lack of respect for the wedding, or how hard relationships are, or that they don't talk about the stuff that helps people grow and move forward. And it's a real sort of trigger point for me. It's a real sort of, no, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I hate it. I'm over it. And the way I dealt with it was terrible. My choice was terrible. The choice from that challenge was terrible. I dealt with it in a very reactive, not helpful, not at all. Like, it was a very reactive way to deal with it. It was just from a place of pure hurt and anxiety. But you know what? That's actually forgivable. The way I responded was actually forgivable. And Anthony choosing to run and disappear and run back to the family and be out of contact with me for 3 weeks, and however long he chooses to do, you know, that is actually a lot more full on and destructive than anything I've ever done. Like, the moment of me doing the self-harm and then the moment of me reacting to him being psychologically abusive to me, reacting to that with such aggression, that stuff you take to a therapy session and unpack and go, what was the hurt underlying that? Like, there was a fuckload of hurt from both people for it to escalate to that point, and just deal with it, like, heal it, fix it up. Like, it's actually a healable situation that can be resolved via honest, clear communication, unpack the actual underlying issues and be committed. Like, it's all about commitment, isn't it? So with this choosing to run and be out of contact, there's no commitment there. We can't work anything out. And I'm in a situation where I've just got to keep moving forward, not knowing really what's going to happen, but knowing that the fact that the fact that my husband hasn't dealt with his issues with his family is actually the reason why we are still having problems in our marriage. It's the bottom line problem of why we're still having problems, because their lack of respect for me as a human being, as a person who exists, and their lack of respect for his and my marriage, and their lack of respect for his choices, and their lack of respect for him as a person. Like, it's just that they're people that we shouldn't have in our lives. Like, we shouldn't be having these people in our lives. They're dysfunctional. They're dysfunctional people who are causing nothing but harm. They need to be kept. They need to be kept at bay. They need to be kept. Have boundaries put around it. There needs to be safety guards put in place. There needs to be. My husband and I need to be working as a unified team in order to create, connection and strength and commitment. And when you've got a situation that's just creating just turbulence and destruction and ongoing pain and barbs and stuff like that, like that needs to be actually dealt with, and we haven't been dealing with it. Like, we haven't held them to account. We haven't put processes in place to protect ourselves from this onslaught of destruction, and it's been tearing us apart on some levels, because he listens to a lot of what they say and takes some of it on board, and he's not doing counselling to unpack what it is that's been coming up for him, and I get more and more hurt by the things they say and him not standing up to protect us. And it's a terrible situation. Left it too long, blah, blah, blah. And then, the commitment. So now I've got this commitment to moving forward bit by bit. In my beautiful home, this beautiful, beautiful afternoon, I'll do some gardening before it's dark, and then got some food left over in the fridge, healthy food, and then maybe an early night, and then tomorrow's another day, and I'll do some more writing. And how beautiful is this spot? So if I set this up with a cup, this might be where I do the lives from now on. It's a bit more peaceful having the tree in the background. And I'll make it so it doesn't wobble around. But yeah, challenges, choices and commitments, and the whole thing about relationships having being about constant choice, commitment and work, I've got a lot of people praying for Anthony to have courage to go into his heart, and to not let his heart be blocked, and to work on positive, constructive, proactive, godly, courageous, life-loving action, And so today's Tuesday, 27th, so from Northern Western Australia. I'll sign off and be in contact with you all a little bit later. So Christmas was quite pleasant. 26 was pleasant. Lots of learnings and growings, and lots of times of very deep sadness and grief and all of that. But overall, there was a lot of faith and a lot of peace and a lot of life is just such a blessing, and it's always moving forwards and onwards, and we never really know what the next second holds, or the next minute, or the next day. It's actually very exciting to live life in faith that all is well. So God's bless everyone, and see you next time. And I trust you've all had a really wonderful or reflective and or illuminating and or what word? It wasn't a wonderful Christmas, just a connecting Christmas with, at least with yourself and whatever came up for you. It's probably one of the hardest times of the year to get through, and we've done it. We've all done it. Mwah. Okay, keep well. Except maybe some of those that are still really and struggling. I hope you're not, but we can all discuss that later if you like. But this is a very difficult time of year because it really brings up all our issues of connection and love and the decisions we've made and where we're at and how we got to where we are and where we're going to go where we're going to keep going and what to do different, and we're learning, growing, love. It's all about love, 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 love and kindness. Jesus sacrificed himself, our pure love for us all, and love is the key. All right, keep well, my sweet ones. Keep well. Life's blessings. Bye.